All right, 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM listeners, we are live right here, right now with the one and only Mel Love of Link2Link. This individual was actually one of the very first paid interns over at Uptown Records, and he also gave the one and only Notorious B.I.G his name right here, right now. Mel Love, live on the line. How are you doing this evening?
Everything blessed, family. How you feeling?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. Just kicking back, just trying to endure this crazy heat wave we got going on down here in Canada, man. I'm wishing for that snow.
Right. Oh man, we don't want no snow yet. Not yet, family.
Hey, man, most definitely not yet, but I want to. I know you're a very busy guy, Mel, so I'm going to dive right into this interview. But I have to ask you, man, like taking you back to the beginning, what actually made you decide to get into the music industry initially, man? Because your roots run so deep within this music.
Yeah, man. My dad and my mom. That's where I got it from. My mom was rapping at one time, and my dad was singing, and chilling with his cousins, Frankie Lyman and the teenagers, and his friend Smokey Robinson and all that, writing songs. So my dad been writing songs for me when I was a little kid, asking me to sing along when he found out that I knew how to sing. And then from there, I just grew the passion to love what I do to this day.
And also, man, as well, in the early days of your career, you actually worked over at Uptown Records, man. I was wondering, how did you land that job? And of course, what was it like just working alongside Puffy so early on in your legendary career?
Well, I got the job from a good friend of mine, family member, the godfather of my son now, Kirk Burrows. He blessed me with the job at Uptown MCA. I used to go to Uptown MCA every single day, to try to get a job with them. And I told them one day, y'all going to hire me. I'm the man for the job. And I was going down there consistency every day, until one day I was riding the train and I bumped into Kirk Burrows on the train. And, we had a conversation. And next thing you know, we got off at the same stop. We walking into the building at the same time, and it was crazy that he was the general manager at the time for Sean Puffy Combs at Bad Boy, and this is before Bad Boy was Bad Boy. It was just a thought, So, God bless the dead, to Puffy's ex-wife or baby mother, Kim Porter. She was a secretary at the time, and she used to see me every day up there, and she told me when she looked at me, she was like, yo, that's the man right there. Go inside with him. So, that day I was lucky to bump into Kirk Burrows, which he, told me to come to his office. I sat down in the chair waiting for him to give me, some advice or what he was going to tell me about me being down there Uptown. I finally got through the doors, sitting in the office. Next thing you know, Puffy come running in and, screaming at the top of his lungs. What startled me, I thought I had to get up and fight or something like that, But then when he looked at me, he was like, yo, Mel Love, how you doing? Because he remembered me from all the parties and from my TV show, Follow the Flavor, So he was like, it's good to see you, and then walked out. So Kirk looked at me, and he was like, you want a job? And I was like, sure. So, the conversation that me and Kirk Burrows had on the train, I had to go to school. So he was like, once you go to school, this is the petty cash, this is what we doing. I see you when you get back. I went outside, and Kim Porter looked at me, and she was like, you made it. You did what you had to do. You came down here every single day. They was watching you, watching what you was doing. They see your TV show. They see you be doing these parties and everything like that. You on and do what you got to do while you here. So, I was happy to be in the doors and doing what I got to do. But working beside Sean Puffy Combs and Kirk Burrows, it was a blessing because Bad Boy was their company at the time, before, the whole situation happened where Puffy took it over. But, it was a blessing working with those the men and, Andre Harrell also. And I'm just blessed to be a part of that whole situation at the beginning of the whole hip hop situation that happened in the '90s.
And also as well, like, of course, you know, you worked at Motown, but when you actually went over to Bad Boy as well, kind of when like Puffy left and kind of made his own company, like when you actually transitioned to Bad Boy, like were you doing the same role as you were as you were at the previous company, or did you get a promotion when you actually went over to Bad Boy Records?
Well, actually, you know, Kirk Burroughs was the general manager at the time, so I was his assistant. So he kept me as a paid assistant, a paid intern, you know, because I know at the time interns didn't supposed to get paid at all. But I was going through a situation where, you know, I was going to school. I left my house at a young age and everything, so I was on my own. So I told Kirk Burroughs that I can't work for free because I was doing that when I was working at Def Jam. And I was only getting paid $50, you know what I mean, to post up some posters and flyers. But, you know, thank you for Russell Simmons looking out for me and giving me that job in the street promotions. But I knew I wanted more, so that's why I went over to Uptown MCA. And when I got hired, you know, Kirk Burroughs really looked out for me, and I was getting paid. I was one of the first paid interns at Uptown MCA. And, you know, he gave me leverage where he was asking me to do assignments for him, going in the studio and produce some records for some of these great artists that's out to this day. And, you know, we moved from being a general manager assistant to Kirk Burroughs becoming the president of Bad Boy Entertainment. And, you know, I just did my job and did what I had to do, you know. But I knew I always wanted more. That's why I started my own company, which is Link2Link Entertainment.
And also as well, man, I have to say first and foremost, I know you answered this multiple times in other interviews, but I have to bring it up myself, man, because growing up, I was a huge Notorious big fan, man. But as we already know, you were the individual that actually came up with Christopher Wallace's name, Notorious. I was wondering if you can give our listeners the story behind behind that eventful day, and of course, what actually made you come up with Notorious that day.
Well, basically, I was coming home from Julia Richmond High School. That's the school I was going to. And as soon as I came to the office, Kirk Burroughs pulled me to the side, and he was like, listen, Mel, today's assignment is different. We have to come up with a name for Biggie because he's about to get sued by the other Biggie Smalls, and he cannot no longer use that name. So we all have to come up and figure it out how we're going to come up with a name so he'd be able to release a single, which was Party and Bullshit, you know? So I was like, all right. So I sat in the conference room with Kim Porter, Q, Jesse West, Sybil Pinks, Kirk Burroughs, and then Kirk Burroughs left out the room, and we was just in there chopping it up, talking. Keisha from Total, she was in and out. So while we was talking and chopping it up and everything like that, they asked us all to write down names that we thinking about and then fold it up, and you don't have to put your name on it, but I wanted to know, you know what I mean, I put my name on it so people will know that whoever come up with the name, they know who did it, you know? So I wrote down the meaning, and I was having a conversation with God, and I said, God, just bless me to do a great job and, you know, just give me a name that I can come up with for Biggie Smalls, you know, because previous to that, you know, Mark Pitts brought Biggie in, and he asked him to sit down so he can go in the office and talk to Puffy. So, you know, I was the first one to get a chance to sit with Biggie first before everybody at Uptown, before he even signed the Bad Boy. So when Biggie sat with me, he told me he was scared and he was about to go inside and have this big meeting with Puffy, and he don't know what to say or do. So I asked him, I said, family, let me hear you rap. So when he started rapping to me, you know, I just started seeing everything that he was speaking about. And I was like, yo, family, you remind me of a pastor, you know, when you in church and you really getting that word, that good word, you know. So I was like, yo, that's dope right there. I was like, just go in there and speak to Puffy and tell him, you know what I mean, if he miss out on you, then he'd be missing out on the biggest thing in the world, you know what I mean? So Mark came and got him, took him back in the room. They had their meeting, they came out, and, you know, that was history. Biggie told me, he was like, yo, Mel, I did it. Thank you. You know what I mean? You gave me confidence, and you made me not be scared to go in there to talk to him, and I did exactly what you told me. So he gave me a hug, and when he gave me a hug, Kirk was looking at me. He was like, "What's that for?" I was like, "Oh, me and him had a conversation, you know what I mean? And we were just talking, but then we left it alone. But me and Biggie used to hang out a lot. I took him to a couple of places. Used to go in and out of different studios to work on some records with him because he was giving me a chance and he believed in me. So, but that, you know, that it made it much more easier for me to try to come up with something that will fit him and his character because he was funny. He would always play around and joke around and stuff like that. You know, and we used to hit the arcades all the time. So, you know, by talking to God, asking God to please give me this name so I can come up with him, so I can set my mark too. Because I didn't know at the time how everybody is looking at it now that was big coming up with his name. I was just doing my job and that's it, you know. So as I'm having a conversation with God, I started writing down the meaning. No two are I. Oh, us. And I said Notorious. So when I wrote it down and I wrote the meaning to it, then I said Notorious B.I.G, the King of New York, you know, because he was from Brooklyn. But I was like, yo, he got to cover all the tri-state areas, you know, so that's why I said the King of New York. So, and that happened also when I got him in the club, him and Little C's and a bunch of people that he was with from Junior Mafia, when I was with my good friend D-Man, you know, from Harlem 6, and he was there, he seen everything that happened, but they wasn't letting Biggie in the club, so where I got that, the King of New York from was the day when I got Biggie inside that club, when I told the bodyguard, let him in. This is going to be the biggest artist that you ever seen. He's going to be the King of New York. Let him and all his peoples in, and he let him in. He listened to what I had to say, and, you know, it happened, you know, so when, back to when we was in the conference room, you know, when I came up with the name and everything, I folded it up, put it in the basket. Kirk Burroughs came in, picked up the papers and from everybody, and then went out. Next thing you know, we was all waiting, still talking in the conference room, laughing and talking what we doing for the day. Then Kirk came in first. Then Puffy came in and looked at everybody. And then all of a sudden, he walked over to me, tapped me on the shoulder, and he was like, "Thank you, Mel Love, we got it." And then walked out the room. And when he walked out the room, the door was slowly closing. Next thing you know, you hear Puffy scream at the top of his lungs, "We got it! We got it! Woo! We got it! We got it! We about to be doing it!" And then after that, it was on from there, and then we dropped the single, "Party and Bullshit." You know? And that was how the Notorious B.I.G name got made from Mel Love, Link2Link, you know?
And I have to ask you, just hearing that story, like, I'm really curious, because obviously everybody wrote them on a piece of paper. Did you actually find out the other names that other people actually came up with? Like, did you actually know what are some of the other names that were obviously on the table that day?
No, because after that name was picked and chosen, they didn't allow us to see nothing else from there. So, you know, that was it from there.
But looking at it now, looking at it right now, just hearing that story, I don't think any other name would really compare to the name Notorious. I couldn't picture Biggie being called anything else, in my personal opinion.
Nah, I couldn't either, you know what I mean? But sometimes I think about that too, you know what I mean? Because I wish Biggie was still living to this day. So, you know, sometimes I think to myself, like, wow, maybe I shouldn't have came up with that name. But then it's destined, you know, whatever God's plans are, then it is what it is, you know? So sometimes, you know, you feel it inside, and I kick myself sometimes for that. But, you know, it was a great name. It still is a great name. It's been in the Hall of Fame and everything like that, you know. But I believe right now my story needs to be out there where the world can understand who is the man behind the scenes who gave him that great name, because everybody thinks that it was just Bad Boy or Puffy that came up with these great ideas, but it was people like myself, Kirk Burroughs, Sybil, Mark Pitts, a whole list of names, you know what I mean, that been a part of Bad Boys to this day that, you know, is not really getting their credibility where it's supposed to be, you know? So, you know, I believe that one day Puffy should just go on live or go on the radio or on TV or even write it in a book or something like that and really give all of us our props and our just due for all the things that we did to help that man along the way, you know?
And also as well, in the 1990s, I actually read that Eazy-E actually called you on the phone wanting to bring his groups Bone Thugs and Hoes with Attitude to New York City. I was wondering if you can tell our listeners a bit more about about that telephone call, and of course, what was it like actually hanging out with Eazy-E when he actually got to the East Coast of New York City?
Well, Eazy was a great dude too. You know what I mean? Another one of my brothers right there, and I miss him too. You know, Eazy, I met him through R&R Freelance. That was a video company that I used to get all my videos from back in the day for my TV show Follow the Flavor. And when he called me, he was like, Mel Love, I'm coming to New York. I got two groups. I got a group called Bone Thugs and Harmony, and I'm still working on them. But right now, I have HWA, which is called Hoes with Attitudes. So I was like, all right, I got a party that I'm about to do tonight with Red Alert and Jam Master Jay and a whole bunch of people, Funk Master Flex. So once you bring them to the club, and then I'll videotape them in the club, interview them, and then after that, we can take it from there, you know? So when he came down, you know, the HWA group, they were there, they showed up, I introduced them to Red Alert and everybody that was in the building. And, you know, they had a great record at the time, but hanging out with Eazy, he taught me a lot too. He told me, he said, you have to be about the business and make sure you sign on your paperwork, because in this business is not fair, and they not going to play fair towards you, because you coming up with so many ideas and you giving them a lot that a lot of people's not going to pay you for what you love. So you have to find somebody that's going to be just like you, or somebody that's going to, you know, match you, so you can get your business done. And at the time, I didn't pay attention to that until later on in the game, you know, where I had to really strive and work hard and grind to really get myself back together again, because some people, they paid me under the table, some people, they gave me my props, but it wasn't like they supposed to. But Eazy-E, you know, God bless his dad too. I miss him. Wish he was still here too, but he was great also. His shows was off the hook. Being in the studio with him was dope, you know, hanging out and just having the conversations with him, Pop, Biggie, Kirk, you know, it was great, you know.
And I gotta say as well, man, you know, just being able to hang out with Eazy would have been absolutely phenomenal, man. But as for Hoes with Attitude, in my personal opinion, man, they never got the pop that they really deserved, man. Like, they were such an amazing trio of three talented ladies, man. Like, what was it like actually meeting those three talented individuals in New York City?
It was a great experience. The way they came in was totally different. Like, before Little Kim and Foxy Brown and, you know, what you see right now, Hoes with Attitudes was the first woman to really display the raunchiness and really exposing themselves to the world, you know, where they was on it like that. You know, you think Megan Thee Stallion is doing her thing like that. HWA was the first one to do that. So, you know, maybe they took a page out of their book to be where they at right now. But they were great artists. You know, I lost contact with them, but peace and blessings if they still around. Hopefully they still doing their thing. If anything, you know, I'm still here. Y'all can holler at me. I'm still here.
And also as well, man, I actually read that at the first Source Awards, you actually saved Q-Tip of A Tribe Called Quest from actually getting beat up by Tupac. I was wondering if you can tell our listeners a story behind that night, and of course, what was the aftermath of that incident? Was Pac mad that you actually, like, you know, broke that up?
Oh man, like that was the first Source Awards when Benzino owned the Source, you know, and Tupac and Q-Tip was going through something, you know. Q-Tip said some things about Tupac on the radio and everything like that. And at the time, I was just standing there talking to LL, and I was recording him, interviewing him. After that, I turned around and I seen Pac, and he was like, "Yo, Mel, what's up?" So when we walked to the stage, Tribe Called Quest was just about to get an award. So as they get an award, Tupac ran up on the stage and was like, "Come on!" So I'm there with Stretch, him, Tupac, Stretch. Who else was there? Big Sight. You know, rest in peace. My boy, Harlem Max had Mr. Stash, Sean Black, you know, with a bunch of us there. And, you know, Tupac grabbed me and pulled me up on the stage with him. So as he's pulling me up on the stage, there was a pipe on the stage. So Tupac picked it up and he started charging after Q-Tip. So I just started following behind Tupac to see what he was doing. So as soon as he picked up the pipe and he was about to hit Q-Tip with it, I grabbed it and he looked at me and I was like, "Pop, what you doing?" "Nah, you can't do that." So I snatched the pipe out of his hand. But then after that, guard pushed Q-Tip and them to the back, and then Tupac's song came on. So at the same time while he was getting awards, Tupac's song came on. So they passed the microphone to me. I passed it to Tupac, and then he just started performing and everything like that. So I just seen one of them. They was arguing in the background and stuff like that about the awards and stuff like that. But I was just, you know, I was a fan of Q-Tip and Pac at the same time. Plus, I knew them, you know, from being in the music business at the beginning. So, you know, they wasn't stars like they are right now, like everybody sees them as, you know. So I just loved their music and what they stood for. And I was just trying to keep the peace between two brothers, you know, that had a misunderstanding, and, you know, that kind of helped him, because if Pac would have hit him with that pipe, oh, man, maybe Q-Tip wouldn't be here either.
And I have to ask, man, did you know if Pac and Q-Tip ever actually made amends before Tupac's untimely passing? Because unfortunately, Tupac never really had, like, he had a great career, as we already know, but it was such a short time span that sometimes with his entire discography and filmography, sometimes people think it was multiple years, but it was really only like 6 years.
Yeah, man, Tupac did a lot of things within those years that he lived, but you know, he was very in tune. He was very passionate about everything that he was doing, and a lot of people didn't understand him. He was lied on a lot, and we seen it because we hung out with him. A couple of incidents that happened that was in the news, I seen it with my own eyes, and I couldn't believe it myself. Like, wow, this really took place. But you know, he dealt with a lot of stress. He dealt with a lot. But at the end of the day, Tupac and Biggie did come back and start talking to each other on the phone and everything like that. They made amends. I don't know about Q-Tip and him making amends, but I know something like Nas and him, they talk, you know, but, you know, it is what it is. You know, a lot of these people in the industry, they go through their ups and downs, but at the end of the day, you know, I just wish that everybody just can get together, that's all, you know, because we all know what war is. But now it's time to speak the love language and start knowing what love is, you know, and if somebody can do something to help the next person or really give them their credibility and show them or let the world know that they was really there and everything like that, then there's time for that right now, you know?
And just going back to when you actually said Tupac and Biggie actually made amends, were you there actually during one of those telephone calls? Because I heard rumors back in the day that Pac and Biggie were actually planning on putting a project out together, but unfortunately, as we already know, God bless his soul, Tupac passed away.
Yes, I was around, you know, and, you know, me listening to the conversations and everything like that, because, like I said, I was both of their friends, and by me, I'm Link2Link, the man in the background, the black bars gum, you know, sometimes when I'm with one, I'll put them on the phone, and that's what I do with everybody that know me as my friend. If y'all go through a disagreement or argument or something like that, then I'll be the one to try to make amends and try to piece everybody back together. And I've been like that since I was a kid. So, you know, back in the day, yeah, I was one of the persons that was trying to piece them back together. Actually, Little Sean was in the room when some of the conversations was going on and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because a lot of things happened, you know, back in the day, but, you know, people don't speak about it because I don't know what it is. It's people scared to speak or anything like that, but like I said, I'm here to tell the truth and nothing but the truth because God is always on my side, so, you know, I cannot lie. Everything is real, and those who've been around me, they know, they bear witness to all the miracles and everything that's been around while I'm still here, and they've seen it with their own eyes, like I have lived it and seen it.
And I gotta say as well, if Tupac and Biggie would have made that project, man, I don't even think I don't even think any other record could even compare to that, man, because those two individuals with just the lyrics, the substance, but behind their music, I think if those two got together and put something out, man, that it would have blew hip hop up.
Well, they did that day at the Source Awards. They did that record together with Brooklyn and all that, you know. So that was a record that they did together. They had a bunch of freestyles together and everything like that. But times has changed, you know, and God bless the dead to both of them. I wish they were still here. But, you know, their legacy is still living on, but it's what we're doing right now. You know, a lot of the things that I'm seeing in this music industry is terrible. Too many of these youth that they putting out here, they setting people up, they pushing different agendas, which is wrong, you know. So the only thing I can do is just keep on speaking of love and telling the truth out here and keep on moving forward. You know, no disrespect to nobody out there trying to make their money and get their bag, but enough is enough already. You know, it's too many people trying to go against different people. It's like you can't even talk about being straight anymore without the other people trying to get on you, you know, which is wrong. You know, the animals get more rights than black people or human beings. You know, it's so sad. So, you know, when people start to realize that we are all human beings and we live on the same planet, we breathe the same air, eat the same foods, and we getting along, some of us, all that racism and all that stuff got to be thrown out the window, you know? The music industry is one thing, but, you know, this is life, and people need to understand that life is too short, and we all need to come together and do something before it's too late. The coronavirus is killing people off. You know, our own kind is killing people off for no reason, just because you get talking and everything like that. I propose this to everybody, all the disc jockeys, everybody that's in the music industry, in the movie world and everything like that. If y'all say who y'all are, and if y'all really real like that, I challenge everybody to start changing up their music and doing music that's more with substance, more love. You know, why we got to keep on showing guns, and that's the only thing that's being played on the radio on heavy rotation. If you kill the next person, you going gold or platinum. When I start speaking love and substance, it's like they don't want to hear that. And I'm not talking about being in church or anything like that. Whoever your God is, a peace and blessings to you. But this is about being human beings on this planet Earth. Enough is enough already. And this is love really talking. This is Mel Love, Link2Link, the movement you want to move with, challenging every single body out there to stop cursing, stop calling each other the N-word, stop talking down on yourself. It's all right to be smart. It's all right to pick up a book. It's all right to pray. It's all right to take care of your family. It's all right to be in a relationship. You know, all this separation, all this trying to cheat on one another and doing all this stuff that's foul, that's what the devil wants you to do. I get it. But we're not moving like that. We're moving out here in God's speed and God's light, and that's how we're moving out here, Link2Link. And if everybody's with me and standing up for me, you know what I mean? Let's make the move and let's move forward and come up with these great shows and keep the shows going. Don't stop the money train from flowing. Keep it going. But do something that's going to uplift your community. Like a lot of these artists, go back to your community and do something to help them out. I don't see that much studios or nobody really helping or anything like that. The only thing I'm seeing online is cops punching and beating up people, choking them, stepping on their necks and doing all these terrible things in the world. People don't even want to speak no more. Get off your phones and talk. Go outside and play. I remember the day we had to be in before the lights turned on, but we was playing kick the can. We was out there playing, scraping up our knees. Right now, y'all too soft. Stop being so soft. Because somebody says something to you, so sensitive. A comedian can't even tell a nice joke no more because y'all so sensitive with the Me Too movements and all this. And I'm saying it. It's me, Mel Love, Link2Link. I'm just keeping it real. Stop being so damn sensitive. Y'all gotta be yourselves. Move forward. Let you be yourself so people can get it. It's like, why you can't tell a joke no more? People are who they are. If you like what you like, you just like what you like. That's it. You know? Who cares? I'm tired of looking at the news. I'm tired of hearing TMZ talking all this and who got the best dress and this and that. Wear your own brand. Or people support people that's out there being entrepreneurs and helping one another. Do that. Help. What I'm doing right now, I got Gigi's Nail and Beauty Lounge that's about to open up right now with Gigi. We got Link2Link Entertainment. We moving forward with our records and our music. We traveling worldwide. We got Block Boy Music World doing what we doing with them. We got the Gifted. He's doing graphics and video promotions. You know, there's so many of us. We got Live Wire in Connecticut doing all these things. These wonderful things that a lot of these unsigned artists or these groups or record labels that's doing out here that need more recognition. You know, start paying attention to those who really is making great music out here. You know, all this stuff, I get it, and that's my past and everything like that. I did a lot of great things. My resume is extensive, family. I did a lot, and I helped a lot of these artists out here, but at the end of the day, some of these artists didn't come back and give me shit. They didn't give me nothing. They didn't give me my time, my recognition. They didn't pay for it. A lot of this money came out of my own pocket. Studio time, studio that I put up, and I made out of making money myself. And it's like, it makes my heart hurt, and it makes me want to cry for all the stuff that I had to go through with my family, sacrifices, losing relationships, breaking up, all types of stuff. You know what I mean? Just to help the next person in the industry who don't give a fuck about you. And excuse my French, if I can't curse on this line, I apologize, but I'm just passionate about everything that's going on in this industry, and it's terrible. You know, people really need to wake up and do something to help each other out for real, and stop glorifying all this nonsense, all this materialistic stuff, where a lot of these people don't even care about you anyway. So make your own brand. Get out there. I support all the time. Everybody that know me know I support everybody and everything that they believe in. Let's go and let's just do it. We can do our own tours and do everything that we got to do, but we have to do it and do it in peace. No more war. No more fighting with one another. Put down the guns. Everybody got to stop all the nonsense out here. Cops got to stop beating people up and doing all this nonsense for nothing. I'm here to represent everybody right now, for real. Love has to take over right now because the world is messed up with all this war. We don't want no war no more. So if everybody's with me on this love page, and I see you out there, my son is doing good. Puff Daddy, keep on pushing love. I love you for that. No matter what, you know what I mean? A lot of people think me and Puffy is mad at each other and all that. I'm not mad at Puffy. Puffy is doing the right thing out there. Keep on pushing love, family. I didn't give you the blueprint for nothing, family. I am here, and I'm going to always be here, for real. You think they on top and they doing what they got to do? I'm out here pushing. Trillionaire life, Link2Link, the movement you want to move with. I just move in silence. Now I'm going to be seen all over the world. I'm not stopping until I'm not here no more when God decides that. Other than that, thank you, family, for being on your platform, Outlaw Radio. I really love y'all. Thank you. You know what I mean? Because this is what needs to be heard right now. And hopefully, this gets in people's brains so they understand that no more war, more love.
And I gotta say, you were most certainly welcome, Mel. But I gotta ask, man, before we actually part ways, man, if you can, drop them social media handles and whatnot, man. That way individuals can follow the legendary Mel Love of Link2Link, man, if they're not already doing so. Well, we are an old school hip-hop station, man, you know, and you, like you said, your resume is so extensive that I hope they already are, man, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, this is the station that caters to individuals like yourself.
Thank you. I appreciate you, family. Yeah, you can hit me up on Facebook, you know, at Mel Love NYC. You can hit me up on Instagram at melvin.coleman.3994. That's melvin.coleman.3994. And, or you can just hit me up on my website at Link2LinkENT.com. That's LINK, the number 2, ENT.com. And, you know, we out here specializing in everything, but we pushing life out here. That's what we doing. We ain't nobody that came back from death yet and told me it was good on that side of town. So until then, I'm going to keep on pushing the life that I know right now, and that's living. So if everybody want to live out here, everybody needs to get up and start doing every day and make the best you every day. No matter how many times you fall, get back up. It's all right. It's all right. Get back up, because you never know if you don't try. So all the people that say you can't do it, look, I'm a living testament. You can do anything you want to do, anything. Because God gave you that privilege to, free will, so do it. But just do it positive and have respect while you're doing it.
But I gotta say, first and foremost, Mel, thank you so much, man, for just taking a little bit of your time this evening and just coming on 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM, man. It definitely was an honor and most definitely a privilege, man, to welcome such a legendary hip-hop representative like yourself, man. It definitely was an honor this evening.
Thank you. I appreciate you, family. And I'm not angry or mad or nothing. I'm just passionate how I speak. So those who's listening in, thinking I'm upset or anything like that, I'm not. I'm love, family. I love all of y'all out there. Just keep on moving forward. And don't forget to go on Spotify and hit up all my pages, Mel Love, Link2Link, or Mel Love. I'm up there. I got songs out now called Bless the Child with D. Brooks, Block Boy Music World. That's over 100,000 right now. And we are out here pushing. You know, my single Mel Love is already 45,000 and some change, you know. Be Without You that I did with Aaliyah and Deidro. You know, I got hits up there. G-Def, you know. Bless the Dead to Black Rob. I work with all these people, manage these people. Big shout out to Rudy Ray Raw. It's a list of people, you know. If I didn't mention you, I apologize. DG, my manager, you know what I mean? We out here, we doing what we got to do. Don't forget, when you see the flyers go out for GG, Nail and Beauty Lounge, that's going to be the grand opening for our new beauty lounge that's about to open up in Norwalk, Connecticut. So, you know, like I said, new music coming out in January. I got a compilation coming out called Streets Need Love. So anybody that's an artist out there that want to participate and be a part of this, just make sure your paperwork is right. Sign your BMI, like I told everybody. That's another thing a lot of people don't know that I came up with. You know, I'm giving back to everybody that's been pushing my records out there or telling a friend to tell a friend. Sign up with BMI as a writer, and I'm putting you on my music. You know, people don't do that and deal with royalties and stuff like that, but I'm giving away royalties. I want to see everybody eat out here. I want to see everybody win. Everybody deserves a chance out here. So if you're an artist, get your paperwork right. You can hit me up at Link2Link.com, and you can be a part of the movement you want to move with. Brand new compilation coming out this January called Streets Need Love. So if you want to be a part of that, just hit me up at Link2LinkENT02@gmail.com, and let's make it happen. Send your numbers in where I can contact you back, and let's make it happen. But DJ Immortal, I appreciate you, family. Thank you, Canada. I miss being out there. Much Music MTV when I was out there with Mario, G-Dep, and Drake at the beginning. You know, a lot of these people I know, and I work with a lot of these people at the beginning, but a lot of people's going to see what's going on. So the story is going to come out. I got a movie coming out also. My compilation, a lot of stuff is happening, but just stay tuned. Go to the website, Link2LinkENT.com, and you can see everything. We can talk all day, but I know DJ Immortal got a lot of other things to do, and I got some business I got to go attend to right now. So it's a blessing to be on Outlaw Radio in Canada with DJ Immortal. Thank you, family. Link2Link, the movement you want to move with.
Hey, man, you are most certainly welcome. But anytime, man, anytime you want to come back, just hit me up. We're connected, and we definitely can coordinate it and make it happen again, man. Because I already know there's a lot more stuff that we can definitely talk about.
Yes, most definitely, family. Next time we chop it up, you know, let's start planning to come out to Canada to do some shows out there. Let's get some concerts going. So when I drop this compilation, we get to bring all the people that's on the compilation out there. And even before that, because I got a lot of artists right now calling me, asking me for shows and everything like that. So this is a great platform to be on. So let's make it happen, family. And let's bring people from the world to Canada so we can do what we do with y'all. You know, I love Canada. Let's go.
Hey, man, I most definitely agree. At the end of the day, man, I haven't been to a concert in 2 years because of this COVID stuff, man. So you had me at concert here in Canada, man. Let's definitely make it happen.
Let's make it happen, family. We're going to be the first ones to bring it back because COVID is not going to stop us from being human beings on this planet. This is a man-made situation that just happened, and it's been a tragic to everybody, and a lot of us have lost loved ones along the way, but we have to be the ones to come together, and that's why I tell everybody it's so important to change your mindset and get on the love note right now. Be positive, so we can all fall back and figure this thing out together, So, let's make it happen.
Most definitely, brother. Thank you so much again, Mel, and definitely have yourself a wonderful night out there. We definitely shall talk soon.
You have a blessed night too, DJ Immortal, and we'll chop it up later. Link2Link, the movement you want to move with on Outlaw Radio. Cheers.